I'd like to share with you something very interesting regarding tefillah. There are many tefillos that are printed in Sidurim before we start davening. Now, not all of us say it, but there are many that say it, and depending on the community in which you live. There's one tefillah actually that was composed by Rebbe Elimelech of Lejensk, and the end of the tefillah has actually become a very famous one, and it goes like this. Yad Rabbe tein v'liveinu mishen nireh kol echad malas chavereinu. So the tefillah, koydem tefillah, finishes off by saying, Hashem, I'm about to daven to you. I want you to know that I'm going to be good to my friend. I'm going to see the good in my friend, not the negative. There's another tefillah, koydem tefillah, that many people say, and it goes like this: Hareini mikabel alai mitzvahs aseh shel v'yahavta l'reacha kamocha. I am taking upon myself the mitzvah of v'yahavta l'reacha kamocha. So this boy asked his father, he said, Father, I don't understand. If I'm about to daven to Hashem, which is bein adam lamakoim, between a person and his creator, why am I saying, Hashem, I want you to know that before I daven, I'm going to be good to my friends. I'm going to be good to my children. I'm going to be good to my parents. I'm going to do the mitzvah of v'yahavta l'reacha kamocha. I'm going to see the good in my friends. What does bein adam lachavero have to do with bein adam lamakom? And his father turned to him and said, My tzaddik, you're asking a very good question. But the reason that you're asking this question is because you don't have children of your own. If you would have children of your own, you would know that the biggest hana'ah, the biggest satisfaction that a parent has, is to know that his children get along and don't fight with each other. So when we daven to Hashem, we say, Hashem, I want to daven to you as a father, as our father. But I want you to know I'm going to take care of your children, my brothers and sisters. And I once heard a beautiful story from Rabbi Yitzchak David Grossman, the Rav of Migdal HaEmek. He said, there was once a father who was marrying off his third and youngest child in New York. He was originally from Eretz Yisrael, and so his two older children married and lived in Eretz Yisrael, one in Tel Aviv and one in Yerushalayim. The father calls up his older son who lives in Tel Aviv, and he says, Gedalia, your younger brother is getting married. I'd like for you and your brother, Chaim, to come to New York for the wedding. And I want you to know, please, don't worry about the expenses. Whatever you spend in my honor, I will pay you. When Gedalia hears that his father is going to cover all his expenses, he, of course, welcomes the news. He thanks his father. He says, of course, I'd love to come to the wedding. I was concerned about coming because of the financial considerations. But now that you're offering to cover the bill for my entire family and for my brother, Chaim, and his family, of course, you'll see us Tuesday night at JFK. Father hangs up with his son, and Gedalia calls his brother Chaim, and he says, Chaim, our father just called me, and he wants us really to come to our youngest brother's wedding in Brooklyn. But he did mention that you should buy a suit or get yourself something so you look presentable because you are in Kollel on a very tight budget. So make sure to get yourself something and look presentable. He did not tell him, buy whatever you need to look perfect for you and your family, and Dad will reimburse us. He just said, make sure to get something on the way to the airport so you look presentable. He hangs up with his brother, Chaim, and then Gedalia calls his wife, and he says, Sarah, Dad just called me and said we should come to the wedding in Brooklyn, and he said that whatever we purchase, he'll reimburse us. So meet me at the mall. We're going to get a Gucci, Armani, whatever we need, because Dad is going to reimburse us. So if you wanted that beautiful dress, I always wanted that beautiful custom suit, now is the time. And they meet at the mall, and he spends $10,000 on outfitting his entire family with the best of everything, whether it be the shoes and that buckle and the suit and the dress and the custom suit and the hat and the tie to look perfect. The day comes, Gedalia goes to Ben Gurion Airport and he meets his brother Chaim and Chaim's wife and his family. They obviously did not look close as sharp as his brother Gedalia and his family. He went to the Yoter Bezul store and purchased a 2-for-1 special at $75 at a local Yerushalayim store, a suit. And he got his wife something of similar nature. But Baruch Hashem, everyone's smiling, they're happy, and they're on their way to New York City. The father greets them in JFK Airport. He's so happy he hasn't seen his children in a few years, and now he's making a wedding tomorrow night. The simcha is beautiful. The father takes a look. He sees a little bit of what's going on, but says nothing. The next day, everyone is so happy. They come 4 o'clock to the wedding hall, get ready, makeup, dress, suit. Everyone is looking beautiful. The wedding happens, the Sheva Brachas happens, and now it's time to go back to Eretz Yisrael for the 2 older boys, Chaim and Gedalia. Gedalia turns to his father and says, Abba, it was such an honor, such a pleasure. I was so happy that we made it here, the entire family. It's beautiful to have the family come together. And his father says, yes, I really enjoyed it. It meant a lot that you came. Thank you. But there's another thing he'd like to speak to his father about, but he's trying to be soft about it. And he says, Abba, so I'm going back. And his father says, here's $1 for tzedakah, for shliach mitzvah. Have a safe trip. He sees his father is not getting the message. He says, Abba, I'm going back to home, I'm going home now. And his father says, okay, you should have a lot of atzlacha, continue your great work, and I look forward to being in touch with you. Let me know when you land, and that you landed safely. He sees his father's not getting the message, so he has to say it, and he says, Abba, I spent $10,000 on my credit card bill, plus another $1,000 for my brother Chaim to purchase his suits and his wife's dress, and all the clothing, and everything else, $1,000 in total. And together it's $11,000, and the credit card bill is coming on the 20th of the month. And you said that whatever I purchase for this wedding, you will reimburse me. And I need the money because I'm not wealthy. So the father turns to Gedalia and says, okay, but what do you want from me? And Gedalia says, what do you mean what I want from you? You told me that whatever I purchase for the wedding, you'll reimburse me. And I don't have this money, but I took the initiative of putting it on my credit card in order to come to this wedding. Otherwise, I would have never purchased these beautiful clothing, but I did it for you. His father turns to him and says, Gedalia, you didn't buy anything for me. You bought everything for you. I said that whatever you purchase in my honor, I will reimburse you. If you were purchasing for my honor, would you buy yourself a $1,000 suit and your brother let him buy a $75 suit? Would you let your wife have a custom-made dress in the mall for $2,000, but your sister-in-law a $75 dress? Would you let your nephew have a $75 suit because it was buy one, get one at a cheap Yerushalayim store, and get yourself and your son a custom suit and a very expensive suit? No. You did it for you. If you're doing it for you, I hope you have success paying the minimum payments for time to come, and enjoy something that you purchased for yourself, but that has nothing to do with me. And that's what Rabbi Grossman said we understand. We say a koydem atfila. Tfila koydem atfila hareini mekavel alai mitzvah sasei shall be haftal l'reacha kamecha Hashem. I am doing good for my brother and sister, for your children, for your honor. As we say in tefillah every day, Baruch hu aleikeinu shebranu l'chvaydai. Hashem, you created us, but you created us for your honor. Everything we do is to bring honor to you, Hashem. When I treat my fellow brother and sister the way I should, it's for your honor. When I daven, it's for your honor. Hashem doesn't need our davening. It's not like if we don't daven, Hashem will chas v'shalom be deficient. We do it because we want to show honor to Hashem. we act nicely to our brothers and sisters in Klal Yisrael because we want to give honor to Hashem. And that's why we say the tefillah, koydem ha-tefillah, whether it be the Adarabah, Tein v'libeinu, shenira malas chavereinu v'loy chesroinam, we should see the good in our brothers and sisters of Klal Yisrael and not their failures. Or whether we say, Hareini mekabel alay mitzvah saseh shel v'yahavta l'reacha kamecha. So from now on, if I can impress upon you, when you go to daven every day, we're busy. Some of us have the chance to say karbanas, some not. But let's take that extra 10 seconds before we start davening, and let's say, Hareini mekabel alay mitzvah saseh shel v'yahavta l'reacha kamecha. Hashem, I'm about to daven to you, and I have a list of what I need from you. And I'm davening because I want to daven for your honor. But I want you to know as a prerequisite, as the premise to davening to you, that I am davening also for my brothers and sisters. And I promise you, I will be good to my brothers and sisters of Klal Yisrael. And that's why I want you to be makabel my tefillas, because you see that I'm good to your children. So that should make you happy. And if you're happy with me, then I am sure that my tefillos will be accepted. Lifnei kisei hakavod. So let's remember when we daven, and in everything else in life, don't always think about ourselves. Because when we think about other people first, like we know the famous memra, Kol hamispalel b'yad chaveroi, v'hu tzarech li'oseh davar, hunena tchila. If you need something and they need something and you daven first for somebody else, Hashem says, oh, so you're not only caring about yourself, you're not stubborn and selfish. You actually want me to help someone first before yourself. You need a shidduch. You need children. You need parnasa. You need shalom. You need something. But you don't care and just talk about yourself first. You actually care about others first, and they are my children. Oh, you care about my children? Makes me feel good. I will actually answer you, and I'll give it to you first before I give it to other people. In the schus of tefillah, in the schus of davening, in the schus of caring for one another, we should all have our tefillahs answered, and we should all have Mashiach come because of the Bein Adam Lachaveroi, and of course the Bein Adam Lamakom. Amen.